tumbled in the morning, and the Sri Lankans would look to try and make use of the opportunity as best as they could, and no doubt would, with this lead of 297, settle for anything around 350 to bat last to try and win this test match. So India, very good pair at the pitch, both having runs against their names, Yuvraj Singh and Sourav Ganguly, and both batsmen too. I think they've got a plan in mind, both in terms of the team and their own personal performances.
Very defensive field for Chamindavas to Ganguly. Well, they batted well, these two, Ganguly on 22, Yuvraj on 28. Good partnership of 47.
Yes, I think this partnership certainly has, in fact, been blossoming away. Chamindavas, the man the Sri Lankans would place their hopes on. So he's already picked up 2 wickets in the second innings, and has had a long ball yesterday. His muscles must be somewhat stiff, but he'll have to get into it right away.
Well, getting to the point about morning freshness in the pitch and a little bit of assistance, that's where Sri Lanka, with their slow over rate, will probably have a problem or two. They should have bowled 75 yesterday, which means 5 overs today, the new ball would have been due. Just bowled 68, so 12 overs. Maybe this pitch, a little bit of moisture with the overnight covering. So the 40 minutes or 50 minutes that it takes Sri Lanka to bowl those 12 overs, the pitch will ease out, will get slower. It's going to be hard work. I'm sure Muralidharan will be used from the far end.
There's no doubt that the Sri Lankans would look at their 2 main strikers, Muralidharan and Chamindavas, as wickets would be something they would be chasing early in the morning. You know that the Indians lost 7 wickets in the first session on the first day, and we saw 5 wickets fall early on the third day, the second and third day, India on the second day in fact. So the Sri Lankans have something to look forward to.
25 overs without a wicket for Muralidharan. Not very often does that happen. Bandara picked up the important wicket of Tendulkar. Needs to be used more, Malinga Bandara. So it's been a good start for Chamindavas, right in the channel.
And so has it been for Sourav Ganguly. He's been solid, compact, playing close to his body. As I would say, there's been a very straight bat from him to all those good deliveries.
Also waiting for the ball to come on to him. Looking relaxed, Ganguly. Maiden to start with. No, there'll be some runs. Will be buys. 2 more runs to India. And buys it is, 239 for 5. Irfan Pathan sent it to open, getting a good 93. Disciplined effort, good partnership with the captain Rahul Dravid. 53. These two left-handers going strong.
So lowness of the pitch on that occasion really again abusing Sangakkara very, very closely, not giving away 5 runs, missing that helmet behind him by a whisker.
Muralitharan to Yuvraj. First runs off the bat this morning, and will be 2 to Yuvraj Singh.
It's been rather unusual that Muralitharan hasn't picked up a wicket so far. 50 partnership brought up by this pair. The lead moving up to 301.
Much slower through the air this time, tempting the batsman to drive through the offside. He's got a lot of protection on the offside. No ball. Does have a very short delivery stride, Muralitharan.
So one really needs to get your rhythm going straight away. Muralitharan, short delivery stride, but still overstepping.
Goes past the outside edge.
So he's been varying his pace. This time turning it very quickly.
And the dusra, no shot offered by Yuvraj Singh. Runs disallowed. But Muralitharan is already showing that he wants to bowl slower through the air.
So you get the feeling that he's quite prepared to give the ball air now and try and draw the batsman out. And if you're loath to using your feet, you certainly could be in some difficulty.
Again, the top spinner with the extra bounce. He's got such good control.
Being a new day, the Sri Lankans far more enthusiastic and just desperate. They need to be desperate at this stage.
Again, Sangakkara getting up a little too early. But no bias this time. It's 242 for 5. Two best bowlers for Sri Lanka, bowling in tandem. Vas has picked up 2 wickets. Muralitharan, no wickets yet.
So the last delivery of that Muralitharan over, just going out to the outside edge of the batter. But again, as you would see, Sangakkara getting up a little too early, and as a result, just not being able to gather.
Just 3 men on the leg side, so easy pickings for Ganguly. Feel a lot more relaxed now. Runs coming off the bat. 24 to him.
Still lacking in consistency, the Sri Lankan bowling. Just bowling on both sides. Even the ever reliable Shaminder Vas and Ganguly. In fact, with runs behind him, playing with a greater degree of confidence.
Very much an offside field. The third man, there's a man at deep square point. 3 in the ring, saving a single, just 1 slip. Has to be around the off stump, Shaminder Vas. That's the area where Ganguly likes. Off stump just outside. That's his strength.
One gets feeling that Ganguly is moving much better to the deliveries, getting behind the line, and seemed to be far more stable with his feet, not moving around as much, better balance. So this is probably a result of the confidence he's now gaining. It's really a question of adjusting or getting his mind focused.
Just get the single. Fernando in the deep. Doing the right thing by rotating strike, these two left-handers.
The Indians also looking to push the score along right from the beginning. Not really looking to settle in and then push it from that point. I think the singles really have come their way quite easily. So these singles are what really keeps the scoreboard ticking. The boundaries are the bonus.
Big appeal. Nadeem Gowri, the umpire. There was a hint of swing. May have missed leg stump. We'll take a look.
One got the feeling that it pitched on line, but there was a fair degree of movement. And it was, in fact, going down the leg side.
He was interested, Chamindavas, because he bowls so straight, very often, stump to stump. Bit of inside edge. Sri Lankans are looking at cutting out the boundaries. But the Indians won't mind ones and twos to add to the tally.
Chamindavas still failing to settle down into a good line and length. He's got a fairly strong offside field, but his line is going a little too straight, and as a result of the movement, drifting the ball into the pads, which makes life much easier to the left-handers.
.246 for 5. Ganguly picking up 14 the first innings is adding to the tally. He's on 25. Yuvraj in the 30s. 56 the partnership between these two. He's had his problems. He's got a back problem and plenty of tape around his fingers. Mavanata Pattu.
Yes, tape seems to be the order of the day with most fielders now.
It's also the weather, Ranjit. It's so cold. They get to the grounds early and 8:30 when they do their fielding practice. It can really sting.
Yes, one really must have a heart for some of these players because it has been cold in the mornings. And those sweaters that they're wearing really is an indication as to how they feel.
Well, I'm freezing, and we were told yesterday was the coldest day since 1999. A little bit of protection and cushion for the fingers.
So it's very important for Sri Lanka to pick up a wicket here because they mustn't forget that both these players, Ganguly and Yuvraj Singh, can be devastating when they are in full flow. And all they need is a few runs and some confidence. They really can take it away from the Sri Lankans, tearing their attack apart.
Yuvraj has been pretty good in terms of, we've seen in the past that he's been very tentative against the spinners. But this innings, he's had no problems. They work very hard with Greg Chappell and Ian Fraser about body movements. He's looking in good control, Yuvraj Singh.
Work hard, lads, work hard.
246 for 5.
आपके सीरियल का नाम है कैसा ये प्यार है, हमारा कैसा ये परिवार है।
इकबाल, मैंने सुना है कि बचपन में तुम्हारी कमर 38 इंच थी
और मेरी जो लेंथ थी ट्राउजर की वो 32 होती। कुड़कुड़िया हाउस नंबर 43 साड़ू छे बॉस।
कुड़कुड़िया हाउस नंबर 43 सिर्फ सोनी एंटरटेनमेंट टेलीविजन एशिया पर।
Uh, 27 fours and 2 sixes. 2 sixes off the bowling of Muralidharan. Pathan struck those. They're going at a good rate for Test match.
Shiv, a good point you make about the Indians having a lot more balance. You could see a lot of their players, they seem to have worked a lot on their techniques, and in most cases their heads are much stiller than what they used to be. Ganguly in particular, you could see he's not moving around as much, and head not falling over, particularly when he's playing on the offside.
They're in very good position again.
He did move nicely into line and was very well behind the delivery. Again, his head perfectly still and in front. As you would see, just the balance was so good.
Front leg is so important to counter the reverse swing. Does swing in late, but he doesn't get far too across. That's the key.
So I think in everything in cricket is all about balance, and if you can get your balance right, most things fall into place invariably. I mean, you really don't have to think about it.
Again, staying low. It's bound to happen. Seeing this pitch, it's become slower and it'll also stay lower.
All in all, it has been a very good Test match pitch, although a little unusual. Yes, the balance, and it was saved by the fact that he had a very straight bat, as you would see. See, if the bat had been at an angle, that ball really would have gone through. So it's important that you have this straight bat on a pitch like this, particularly to deliveries that are in line.
So Greg Chappell did mention in one of the newspapers that he expects Sourav Ganguly to be the second mentor in the team. First one, of course, is Sachin Tendulkar. It's a good part to play.
It's very useful to have past captains in the team, I think, and the important thing is that they must realize what their role is, and once they do that, I think the team benefits greatly.
Good timing. There's a man in the deep. Malinga Bandara, just the single to Ganguly. There you go. Sourav is a mentor too. Everybody's been specified what he needs to do. Again, a little bit of swing. Picking up the single, Yuvraj Singh to retain strike. It's 248 for 5. Indians doing well this morning. Seen too many wickets fall in the first session, in the first 1 hour, in fact. 248 for 5. Overall lead 308.
So the Indians have been picking up their singles quite easily, but again, whenever they've tried to hit the ball hard and look for the boundaries, the big shots, the timing really has not been very much to their liking.
Now, part of the reason is Muralidharan is bowling much slower. He's taking the pace off the ball, and on a slow pitch, when he moves slow through the air, it's going to be extremely difficult for the batsman to drive. Not carrying.
Yes, on pitches like that, that's really the problem. It's also low. You have to stay low. The field is in the slips. And the carry, particularly when it comes off the edge, doesn't really come to hand. And there you are, the pace off Muralidharan. The first, good delivery. There is a big shout. Taufel unmoved. Muralidharan asking the question which way he thought it went.
Pitched outside the leg stump. Good decision from Simon Taufel. We'll look for 2. In fact, he's looking for the 3rd. Just gets 2. Yuvraj Singh.
Brings up the 250. One got the feeling that they probably would have been looking for 3 there. And that's something which this pair needs to try and brush up. Looking for that additional run, and this 50 coming in 114 balls. You could see that it has slowed down the pace.
It's 250 for 5. India lead by 310, 5 wickets in hand. Anything in excess of 350 is going to be extremely difficult to get in the 4th innings. Chaminda Bas will continue.
Chaminda Bas has really not been successful this morning. He's looked to do everything to look for that wicket. The Yorker this time, that's one he hasn't really got in the right areas before. But on that occasion, Ganguly digging it out quite easily. As Chaminda Bas's pace really not very favourable towards getting a Yorker through the batsman's defences as easily.
Indians have lost 5 wickets. Similar dismissals for Gautam Gambhir in the first innings and second, falling to Chaminda Bas. Getting far too across. Good decision by Nadeem Gauri. Early strike for the Sri Lankans, and then VVS Lakshman was out for very good delivery. It was in 2 minds whether to go forward or back. Held the edge to Sangakkara. It's a good side for a leg spinner. Going straight through, and Tendulkar wasn't very happy when he was given out, but eventually the replay is confirmed. He's suddenly gone, and Pathan, 93 runs as an opener. Disappointing moment for him again. And Rahul Dravid, poor call. Thought there was a single. Jayawardena, a direct hit, and he was well shot. Needs another 5. Atapattu.
Ganguly, he's having his work cut out there. A few problems, but he's coped well with that. Just look at this delivery. Really hasn't got above 2 or 3 inches, and Ganguly gets that bat straight once again.
The Indian bowlers will be happy with that side. Uneven bounce. Bit of hesitation. We'll get the single. Tilakaratne Dilshan is a good fielder. But it was going to the wrong side.
It's nicely played into the gap, and they recognized the single straight away. Well, the Dilshan was very quickly across.
And the youngsters coming in to watch Test cricket. It's 2:51 for 5.
Let the bass drum go like this.
Yuvraj Singh and Ganguly been unseparated this morning. Looking at the scorecard, the process, Irfan Pathan getting to open. 2 left-handers up the order. One of them clicking, that was good enough for India. Pathan getting 93, Dravid 53.
We've seen contrasting styles and approaches from both these batsmen to the Sri Lankan bowling, particularly there's Ganguly, who's been concentrating more on staying on the back foot, particularly to the quicker bowlers, and Yuvraj getting on the front foot.
What Saurav Ganguly is also doing is he's looking to play with the bat. Did not offer a shot in the first innings.
I think it's so important that you learn from your mistakes, and it goes to show the experience that Ganguly's got. That is concentrating so much, getting that bat in front rather than going more with the pad and keeping the bat behind. It's always fraught with danger, particularly against umpires who are very harsh, particularly when you don't get that bat in front.
Again the Dusra. Picked it up. Ganguly. You have a little more time on day 4 and 5 because the pitch does get slower. Saw that stat. 165 times Muralidharan is bowled in test matches. He's gone wicketless only 8 times. In playing it late, Ganguly. Staying low. He needs to get a little more fuller. Muralidharan.
You can see he bowled it very quickly, Muralidharan. That was 89.7 Ks.
It's 2:52 for 5. It's been a very good morning for India, the first half now. It's 252 for 5 in their second innings. Overall lead is 312. Change in bowling, Fernando comes in, and change in commentary, Arun Lal and Ranil Abhinayaka.
Thanks, Shiva, and a very good morning to all viewers. 312 ahead, India. Sri Lanka would have wanted an early breakthrough. They haven't got it. Ganguly and Yuvraj have successfully negotiated the first half hour of Murli and Vas, but now it's Dilhara Fernando. 1 wicket for 57 off 14. Good morning, Ranil.
Morning, Arun, and good morning to all our viewers. Just as much as they've negotiated half an hour, they've been able to keep 8 overs away. So the Sri Lankans have toiled. A few deliveries have kept low, a few have spun, but the Indians have managed to get through all of that.
I saw your pitch report in the morning and I tend to agree with you, but I feel that maybe, like you, this wicket may have slowed down, Ranil, and in that sense it's making it that much more difficult to prize out batsmen. So taking wickets has become a problem, and that might work in Sri Lanka's favour should they have to bat a day and a half and with not any realistic chance at getting at the runs. So there's a lot of work to do in this game for both sides. In the air for a while, he almost followed that away swing.
Yes, on the subject of the pitch, you can see it's coming onto the bat nicely, not too slowly, but it certainly has slowed down a fraction, giving the batsman the chance to get their bat down, especially when it keeps low. They've got that little time. And also, you have to give credit to the batsmen, all of them who've come in yesterday and today, where the Indians are concerned, that they've kept their pads out of the way, managed to hit a lot of it with the bat. And so those two factors have made it a bit difficult for wickets to be taken.
Dilhara Fernando gets a lot of movement away from left-handers. We saw him use this ploy against Irfan Pathan. They actually thought him out, kept bowling outside the off-stump, away-going deliveries, and made him come at them rather than bowling at him. Eventually paid dividends, but it was not before Pathan had got to a fabulous 93. There's a fair amount of movement as well in the air and off the wicket from that angle.
Well, one fielder was moved after the second delivery. There's one down deep at third man on the offside, but there's that slip and there's the point. That's where Ganguly was trapped in the Chennai game. The second delivery pushed it in the air in that direction. No fielder. So they forgot about it, and now they've just remembered. Maybe a bit too late.
Yes, and he did play it in the air in that direction. But he's concentrating hard. He's not going to make the same mistake twice. Fingers really wrapped in there tight. That's not his only problem, Atapattu, at the moment. It's a maiden over, 252 for 5. Well, it's a fair crowd. I'm sure it'll build up. It's a perfect day for viewing cricket. Lots of school children there as well. It's very cold in Delhi. It was very cold last night. Once the sun comes out, it becomes very pleasant indeed.
Muralidharan in his 30th over, yet to pick up a wicket, and he's toiling really hard.
At the moment, not without luck. I beg your pardon, without any luck. He's beaten the bat a couple of occasions, but just not finding the edge. And once or twice on those occasions when he has found the edge, it hasn't carried to slip. That's another problem for bowlers on this wicket. They can be restrictive. That's in their favour because it keeps low. But the edges don't carry. So you've got to be lucky you get a fine edge and the keeper takes it, because I haven't seen a catch taken in the slip so far. Still can't get the timing.
Didn't get the timing on that occasion, but certainly he's looking much more confident in this innings. After he played a few good shots initially, got the feel of it. And although he gets beaten, he comes back and plays the next one well.
Beats him again. He's beaten the bat on at least 5 occasions this morning. No luck there.
As you hear Sangakkara saying, keep it on that spot and keep spinning it.
Another maiden. 252 for 5. .252 for 5. It's a nice day out for the family as well. Lots of posters, lots of enthusiasm. India is doing well. They're in a good position. Crowd is happy. Talking about Muralidharan, it's only twice before in his entire career has he bowled more overs and not taken wickets. He's already bowled 30 overs in this game without a wicket, and it's only twice before has he bowled more overs without a wicket. Once was against India in Nagpur in '97, bowled 46 overs then, and now 30, and also 33 against New Zealand in Dunedin in '96. So that's a while ago, 10 years ago.
Yes, I have seen him bowl long spells where maybe 10-15 overs he hasn't got a wicket. But what he needs is the first wicket. And the moment he gets the first one, he gets a couple more, a few more sometimes, depending on how many wickets are left in the opposition's batting lineup.
The last delivery that I just saw the ball really take off. So there is a little bit of duality to the bounce on this wicket. When it lands on the grass, I suspect it carries and carries firmly to the keeper. There you are. And when it carries in those, when it bounces in areas where there's no grass, it keeps a lot lower. It's bowling just too far away at the moment. He wants to get Ganguly on the front foot, but he also wants to make him reach out for it. But as far as that, I don't think Ganguly is going to go for it.
I reckon, Arun, it's part of their ploy this morning to give the Indians as less scoring balls as possible. So if you keep it around that area, then it's difficult to score, difficult to play those slash drives on this pitch. And try and make the Indians make the mistake.
Yes, and it might work. They want to keep it tight. They want to frustrate the Indians. The Indians have to make the play now. Don't give them runs. Make them come at you. And then make a mistake. This is pretty lively spell as well from Fernando. He's getting the ball to move. Not easy to get a score of these deliveries. Just angling it across, and that angle is accentuating the away swing.
A marked improvement in Fernando's bowling since that first spell in Chennai. And that's after the bounce, it's reduced by 11.2% the pace of the ball after having hit the pitch. 11.2% reduction in pace.
Finally a single. He will retain strike. 253 for 5. They haven't conceded too many runs. 42 minutes, 11 overs, just 16 runs. So that's good. In a sense, they've got a measure of control. They're not allowing India to run away with it. They'd be very happy if they can get a couple of wickets now.
313 the lead, Arun. And one of the things the Indians have to think of at some point of time is a declaration. How do you see it?
Thanks a lot. I was going to put you in that position. You really preempted me. Well, I expected they'd want to get to about 400, the lead. And the quicker the better. And, you know, once you have that buffer of an extra 50, 60 runs, suppose you feel that 350 is enough and you have another 50 runs, then you can really attack the batsman. Get more fielders around them, put a lot of pressure. You can afford to concede a few boundaries and not feel vulnerable at all. So I suspect they'd be wanting 400 runs, and the earlier the better. So Sri Lanka is doing well, pretty, attack with Murli and make sure that the other side is sort of sewn up by Fernando. They would also be aware, India would also be aware that the wicket has eased up. They've all batted on it, they're seeing it. And it's not going to be that simple to get batsmen out. So more the pressure that they can apply by close-in fielders, the better.
Yes, you mentioned that the pitch has eased up, Arun, which then means that you've got to also target a certain number of overs to bowl at the Sri Lankans. I reckon maybe about 130, 135 overs, because still there's overs remaining is about 78, I think, for the day, and then 78.1 to be exact, and then 90 overs tomorrow. So still some time where they can settle in and then go for some big hits once they get closer to that number of overs.
Yes, indeed, they've got to really work out the overs. You're absolutely right. 254 for 5.
Pakistan's best, only on Sony. Watch the talent bubbling out of Pakistan with our very own Pakistan chart show. Who will be number one? Find out only on Sony. The Volume.
Still 168 overs, possible 168 overs, or minimum 168 overs to be bowled in this game. Light permitting. So you can subtract maybe 15 overs from it, because we know that light fades very rapidly in the evenings. It was 7 overs short yesterday. So maybe 155 overs to go. If they want to give their bowlers a chance, maybe 130 overs. In that calculation, they've got 25 overs to get another 100 runs. It's not happening at the moment at that rate.
There's still some time for Dravid to make that decision, but right now Marwan Athapaththu has to make a decision, because the Sri Lankans have bowled 80 overs. Is he going to take the new ball, or is he going to continue with the old ball? Was has had a spell. Fernando's in the middle of a spell. So more than likely he'll give Bandara also a go, bowl the spinners a little longer. He didn't take the second new ball in the first innings, and that paid dividends.
The way this ball is moving, and it's old, and that's probably the time when they've got wickets in this game, both sides. So I don't think he's viewing that as an option, not just yet. He's also got a measure of control as far as the run scoring is concerned. So I suspect they're going to carry on with the older ball. I don't think he's now thinking of attacking the batsman. He's waiting for them to get into a frame of mind of frustration and make a mistake. I think he's sort of now retreated somewhat after the first half hour. That's Athapaththu, I mean, into a more containing role. Use up as many overs as possible, then maybe if they get themselves out, good enough, or if they get a breakthrough, they might attack again. But as long as these two are there, he's not going to be attacking. He wants to consume the overs.
Drifting down the leg side, possibly a leg by. Umpire Nadim Gowri will signal, yes, it was off the pad. And of course the Sri Lankans will want the shortest possible chase. In terms of runs, they'll want the least number that they can go after, and certainly also in terms of overs. They are almost out of this game, I would say, in terms of winning. The moment the Indians get over about 350, that most likely will be the case.
Fair amount of reverse swing there. That was a surprised one. He's been angling it away from Ganguly, but that was the one he wanted to pitch straight. Couldn't quite manage it. Drifting down the leg side. Another one which has drifted down the leg side, has gone for 4. It's leg bys. Athapaththu wouldn't be happy with that one. It's 259 for 5. Fair bit of breeze, but that's in the top of the ground. At ground level, with all these built-up structures, we can hardly see a flutter. A slip and a silly mid-off. There's the flag at ground level. Not too much breeze to work with.
The partnership really blossoming. 30 runs to Ganguly, 99 balls, 34 to Yuvraj.
Still a bit hazy. These are cold mornings, very cold indeed. That has to be quick, and it is. No hesitation there. Ganguly took off as soon as he's played that. He knew there was a single in it.
This is the area that Rahul Dravid got run out, hitting to Mahela Jayawardene and running.
It's difficult to time these shots against Murli because that's the dusra. It will straighten inwards, and it's really keeping very low. So these shots slightly on the rise are very, very difficult to time. Goodness me, look at the amount of turn there. He just squared him up completely. Still didn't find the edge.
Yes, that was an absolute beauty. Yuvraj Singh knew nothing about it. Little shake of the head after that, acknowledging what a top delivery that was.
They're so scared of that dusra straightening onto their pad because of the lack of bounce that they're getting beaten on the ones that are turning away, and they're not turning away that radically. That's the measure of the pressure that this man puts on you with that dusra. Yet again, problems with timing. 260 for 5. Starts for almost everybody except Gambhir. Substantial contribution there by Pathan. That was the experiment that really paid rich dividends. 53 solid runs by Dravid. And now these two are stitching together a very effective partnership. 70 they put on together. Just the single.
That was really slow off the pitch. Some sort of tennis ball bounce, and Ganguly adjusted himself well. He waited for it, didn't try to hit it too hard.
This is the last ball, last over. This was what he was planning to do. You see, he's been angling the ball away, then he wanted to surprise the batsman by getting one in. Didn't quite get it where he wanted it, and I suspect he was sort of censured by his captain. They don't want to attack too much. They just want to make sure that they don't give runs away now. At least from one end. The other end they can attack with Murli. Problems mounting for Atapadu.
Yes, he's keeping Dilara Fernando on. And it's been really hard work for the big fast bowler into his 18th over. Just the 1 wicket, little rewards in this match for him. Went wicketless in the first innings.
Well bowled. He's getting a fair amount of movement. So it's pretty apparent that they're not going to take the new ball. He's persisting with Fernando. Really no need to. Wonderful away swing. That's all you need to keep doing. Just keep bowling that line.
And perhaps he is frustrating Yuvraj Singh a little bit. Yuvraj unable to time the ball properly of Muralidharan's bowling. Perhaps looking to see if he could get a few off Fernando. More than 15 overs bowled in this session so far. But runs have been hard to come by.
A field adjustment now, the 7 on the offside. No need for variations, just keep bowling this line. Just the single. It's difficult to get a boundary on the offside now with 7 fielders there. Almost crowding each other there.
Yuvraj Singh getting some timing going there, but finding the fielder in the deep. 2 in the deep on the offside, deep cover and deep third man. Then the slip and that point fielder, especially brought into that region for Ganguly. And then backward point, extra cover and mid-off.
That's the one he was attempting in the previous over. They went for runs, leg buys. This is absorbing cricket. Some fine swing bowling. Quite a struggle both for bat and ball.
Yes, a very good spell of quick bowling from Dilara Fernando. He's not concerned of what the pitch is doing. He's just working on where he's got to land the ball.
Single to end the over. He will retain strike. It's 263 for 5. Almost coming to that hour, the first hour which is so crucial each day. And the Indians certainly have played themselves into a terrific position now. They haven't lost a wicket. And after first drinks can then now think of capitalizing on the position that they've built.
Ganguly has worked out the length which he can drive. He knows that when the ball pitches close enough, where he can get his foot to the pitch, he can play the drive. Can give himself a little bit of room as well. But then when it's on that length, he knows he's got to play forward defensive. His concentration has been very good. And Muralidharan having those 2 close catches, there is feel that second slip and a silly point. It's been the way it's gone for Muralidharan. He's bowled 2 balls on the right spot. And then if he's strayed even a little bit, the Indian batsmen have been able to nudge him away for a single. So they've been handling him pretty well.
Again, another Indian batsman who's trying to read him off the wicket as well as in the air. Squaring up, making sure that he's in a position to be able to play the one that comes in as well. That's the outside edge. It'll be runs. Bit of a chase there for Bandara. 2. When the batsmen are a lot more